These are updates that are unlikely to be in Minecraft, or will not happen at all under any circumstances. I will take into account the last test updates, the work of Mojang's, and statements from the developers. Let's start with the farming update. I was even once asked to record a video on the topic, but I myself don't see the point in it. Basically, people expect more realism from the farming update. They want food to spoil, the player to regularly feed the animals so that they don't die of hunger, and of course a bunch of different types of food. Let's start with it. Perhaps someone simply doesn't notice this, but almost every update adds a new type of food. Thanks to this, the variety of food in Minecraft has become very large, which helps make various buildings even cooler. But making a separate update only to add even more types of food is somehow strange. Moreover, it will not affect the gameplay very much. Also, what else I would like to highlight is that the very idea of regularly feeding mobs won't be beneficial for Minecraft. Just imagine that you are going on some kind of trip and you do not have the opportunity to feed the mobs, which is why constantly returning to your base, you will have to populate your farm with new mobs. Even if you return to base every 10-20 minutes and feed the mobs, this will not be the most interesting content. I would even call it a routine. The developers, on the contrary, want to get rid of such content. Some also want a diet from this update, but I refute it in one of my videos. In general, a farming update is unlikely to be expected, at least as players now imagine it. An update of realism or a logical update, call it whatever you want. What do I mean by this? It's temperature, it's the physics of trees, it's thirst, it's seasons. In general, everything that is absolutely forbidden to add to Minecraft. And now I will explain why. Let's start with the fact that this was a temperature and the way the players want it to be. Then is in warm biomes it is hot, in cold biomes it is cold. Then the players would have to apart to the game, when the point of Minecraft, on the contrary, is that the game aparts to the player. The physics of trees is the same. Trees have been flying in Minecraft for several years now, and it doesn't interfere at all. But if you remove it, it will limit players in construction. For example, I just want to shorten a tree and change its trunk to some other type of tree. With physics, it would be impossible to do this, but without it, it would be as easy as shilling pears. I also talked briefly about the seasons. The point of Minecraft is that you influence almost everything in the game, and if there are seasons, it will completely break this idea. These words were spoken by developers themselves in one of the interviews. When it comes to updating structures, the set is not very large. What they want from him is update old structures and adding new ones. Let's start with the fact that updating old structures in Minecraft is almost impossible. An example is a desert template, which wasn't completely changed but was only supplemented with a new system of archaeology. This made it more interesting and did not remove the iconic dungeon. In the case of old structures, the chance that they will be left is even greater since players use them, come and collect loot, fight, and so on. The developers will naturally add new structures, but it is unlikely that this will be in one update. As is the case with food, new structures appear gradually. Such an update can be expected in some parallel universe, where the developers have no ideas left at all. We won't dwell on updating Paradise for long, since Mojang doesn't want to add anything related to religion in their games, but they could very well make dimensions that vaguely resemble Paradise and call it something else. What adds even more fuel to the fire is the fact the developer of this mod is now working in Mojang, but this is unlikely to have any impact on the creation of such a dimension. It does something completely different. I think all Java players are waiting for the optimization update. And no, I'm not suggesting the developers will not update the optimization. I mean that in addition to optimization, something else will probably be added to us. An example is 1.15, which didn't make any significant gameplay changes, but the optimization was fixed very well. The only possible case where only optimization will be fixed in one update is if Java stops working altogether. I don't think the developers will make it this far, but let's consider all possible situations. Well, another thing we'll talk about is the progress update. I have already recorded a video on the topic, but now I will explain briefly. Minecraft is not such a boring game that you need to devote a whole update to progress. Although some people want to directly complicate the game, this is unlikely to happen. Whatever one may say, this game is still created for casuals, and if the game becomes too difficult, both casuals and new players who don't know anything about Minecraft Minecraft will lose to desire to play, and unprintable a progress update would to attract as many people as, for example, a nether update or an update of tricky trails. In general, I have already discussed the balance in detail in the video that you see on the screen. Well, bye bye.